DJ Browne here, and this is my phenomenal true story. It began in 1959 when my dad was convinced that I was an ugly alien. He wasn't joking either, but other beings knew differently. In 1961, my grandmother had an awful premonition. Something bad was about to happen to me. She gathered her bags and things and caught the bus, a 20-mile journey, but it was too late. Doctors said I would be scarred for life from the 3rd-degree burns, but my grandmother had other ideas. As a medium and healer, she called upon divine intervention. The doctor was overawed. He could not believe it. A complete recovery. In 1962, my training began as a psychic and medium with my grandmother. Imagination was the first thing she taught me. The second thing she taught me was that no one would believe you unless you demonstrate the facts and reality of life after death. She allowed me to watch her mediumship work firsthand. She brought comfort and hope to the bereaved. In 1966, I had my first close encounter.
Hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. We are with you, and the ball is crossed into the box. Don't panic. We are with you. Always.
Wow.
November 1966, I had my first near-death experience on the dentist's chair.
Too much anesthetic. His blood pressure is dropping.
Nothing but the dark, and two figures, two lights approaching. Bleepin' Booster, cartoon characters, but this was strange, floating, feeling part of the universe. I saw them again before floating away, and then I was back. Most weekends, Mum and Dad went dancing with their best friends, Larry and May, who were personnel at the RAF Mildenhall Air Base in Suffolk. While they were out having a great time, strange things were happening to me. One evening, I had the most bizarre experience. A bright orange orb came in from the woods, and I seemed to change in time from a much older person to a younger person. It was the weirdest experience ever, as if time had pushed me forward, and then I vanished. I found myself in a strange space with strange beings and strange toys. Even stranger, my face would change from Asian to white with blonde hair and then back to my normal look. Telepathically, they asked which toy is real, and I said none of them are real. Which colour is real? I looked again. The yellow bird was now black with a yellow beak. That was real. The next question came super fast. 7 times 7 times 7. I answered instantly. 343. And then I was back in the room staring out the window at the orange glow. And then it was over. In the summer of '68, 2 suns, orange, huge, appeared in the sky. The kids were absolutely petrified and started to run. The parents looked on in amazement. Just days later, I was taken on board my second craft and met face to face a teacher.
Am I?
My name is Raja.
The 7 Sisters.
And then I was back on solid ground, feeling lost and alone. In 1969, I had a dream that would repeat and repeat and repeat. Not just for a few days, but for several years. The sky was filled with UFOs and planes from all ages, and the people were panicking. They always came in from the east, always. In 1971, I had my first terrifying encounter with dark forces, a voodoo doll. It scared me so much.
It's not supposed to be here.
I ran and ran and ran. In 1972, I had another dark encounter. This taught me that not everything is love and light and benign. Dark forces were watching me. Dark forces were challenging the light. In 1972, me and my friends were up to shenanigans. We dug a big hole. I climbed in it, they put corrugated iron on top, and then I surrendered to the darkness and left my body. My life flashed before my eyes, but then before I knew it,
Look at him, he's gone!
No, I'm still here.
I was back, breathing air once more. In 1973, I became obsessed with Uri Geller, and the idea of bending spoons was one thing that I had to do. I knew I could do it. I put all of my efforts towards it, all of my powers, my psychic energy, and there it was. Amazing. In the winter of 73, I read a book by Robert A. Monroe, Journeys Out of Body, and I practiced his techniques. To my amazement, they actually worked. In this higher consciousness state, I met angels and other amazing beings. From that moment on, I was convinced of a much bigger reality. In 1974, a strange occurrence. A palm cross appeared etched into my window pane. It lit up. I tried to rub it off. It wouldn't go. This was there time after time for many years. Then one day it just vanished. I read about the spiritual healer Ted Fricker in the Sun newspaper in 75 and tried his techniques. The awful pain in my throat simply melted away when I thought of Jesus.
I feel it.
In 1976, me and my best buddy Jake had an amazing encounter with a huge football pitch-sized craft. A big black triangle came over and then just simply vanished. In 77, I passed my driving test and was driving along in the pouring rain when this huge black cuboid appeared. Massive UFO. A female voice clearly said in my head, "It's him, we need to watch him, he has what we need." In 79, I had an incredible vision.
This is happening.
Do not be afraid. Surrender to love.
Yes, I surrender.
My body was tingling with an overpowering electricity. This was real. I had left my body. I was visiting the streets of London with an angel. I was seeing all kinds of amazing things. I was witnessing the power of love firsthand alongside an angelic being, and this made me so happy to know that we are in good hands. And truly, angels walk amongst us. During the 1980s, this was a wild time, a weird time, with my double life entwines. This was another world far from my paranormal one. National radio, world tours, press interviews, fast cars and hotels and flights, and songs and studios and albums and records and publishing company pressure. Deadlines, non-stop, and I loved every moment of it. But after a whole decade of pursuing these kinds of dreams, I had to stop. I had to, for my own mental health, and to return back in to the paranormal world of which I loved. To finish what was started decades before, to bring the truth of UFOs, of angels, and of those interdimensional life forms that exist all around us. During 2025, over 1,000 UFOs and UAPs were filmed on my live streams. Just think about that for a moment. Over 1,000. We've also had in tens of thousands, literally tens of thousands of orbs and rods and other anomalous types of phenomena. We are certainly not alone, guys. Before we move into the 1990s and beyond, just check out the rest of these UAPs filmed in October, November and December of 2025. There are so many different types, from shape to colour to frequency. Just look at them. Aren't they beautiful? 15th of July 1990 in the early hours was the most joyous experience that I had had in my young life. I was standing on a deserted beach talking to my grandparents. The sea around us was calling me. It was alive. I was on the edge of the spirit world. I could see on the horizon the light that was beckoning me with a huge unconditional love to come towards it. My granddad opened up a book which was shimmering. It was alive. In it, he flicked the pages and everything was moving. He showed me where they lived now after they had passed several years before. There were mountains and there were cottages, there were streams and such idyllic views. But they had a serious message they had come from the spirit world to deliver. My grandmother said, "Do you remember how I trained you, DJ? When you were tiny, I trained you for this day." "Your time has arrived, DJ," said my granddad. "We are with you, and a whole host of other beings are here to help. You have to go to the Spiritualist Church for the next step. You will meet someone there who will become vitally important in what happens next. We are counting on you. Do you trust us, DJ?" "Of course I trust you," I said. "But there, over there, the ocean, it's calling me." "We know," said my granddad, "but you cannot go there. If you do, you will not return back to this time and place. Go now to the Spiritualist Church as soon as you can, and to prove that this is not a dream, if you go into your father's loft, you'll find something called a seaman's ticket. On the front of this passport, there is the date 1888. That will show that this is not in your mind." We hugged before they left to go back to the spirit world, and they said, "We love you." And with that, I awoke with a jolt. A huge wave of love washed over me for a good minute. I was in tears. I could not stop. And as I opened my eyes, around me were thousands and thousands of spirit lights, purples, blues, golds, pulsing. Oh my, I thought I was going crazy. But what happened next was even crazier. In my father's loft the next day, there was the proof. The passport called a seaman's ticket that had 1888 on the front. I had to now go to the Spiritualist Church. Me? To the Spiritualist Church? I shook my head. As I approached the Spiritualist Church door, my heart seemed to be pounding in my chest so hard. The hymns, the sounds I could hear were not the sort of thing that I was into. I got close to the door and then thought, no. But the door opened and a small, bald man said, "Hello, DJ. We've been waiting for you." I was gone. "Sorry, I think I've come to the wrong place," I said, and made my excuses and left. How could he have known my name? What was going on? On July the 24th, 1990, my grandparents returned. I was in another dream. The scenario was the same. There was the beach and the ocean calling me. But this time, all of my living relatives were sitting around drinking tea and coffee. My grandparents said, "Look, they don't see us, but you do. You have a gift, DJ. You have to go back and share it with the world. You need to be at the Spiritualist Church. Please go there." The look on their faces, I'd seen it 100 times before. I was going. I was going to swallow my pride, and I was going to go. The next Sunday, I walked down the road to the Spiritualist Church. The door again opened, and the same small, bald guy said, "You're back, DJ. Welcome."
We've been waiting for you, DJ.
That was the most amazing turning point in my life. For as I walked back into the church, there in front of me was the love of my life. Yet, in spite of my newfound love, the strange things kept happening to me. Spirit lights, little orbs of light would fly around wherever I was. And then there was the Aboriginal elder who was etched in the mirror in my bedroom. As quickly as he came, he vanished. My search for the truth of what was happening to me led me to two of spiritualism's main institutions, the National Union of Spiritualism and the Christian spiritualists, but none of them could give me an answer.
Sorry, I can't help
In my
you.
desperate search for knowledge, it came to me as a synchronicity at Neil's Yard in London. I was perusing some books and one just leapt out at me. The book described perfectly my experiences with the spirit lights. This, it seemed, was an initiation that the Native Americans seemed to have gone through generation from generation. I was happy now. I knew where this was coming from.
Light finds you, even in the dark.
The day my mum left this world, I witnessed her leave. The golden energy and the golden spirit lights were leaving her head. It was her soul's journey back to the spirit world from where she came. My spirit guide said she's gone now, and she took one final breath and was released from the physical pain. During the early 90s, I led many circles of light, praying for world peace with other like-minded people. We would gather each week and send positive energy out to the world, and we knew that it worked. I also developed my physical mediumship further and was invited to Skull in Norfolk by Robin and Sandra Foy. They witnessed a new form of spiritual manifestation where beings would appear as if rolling and charging up through my face. It was very different from the old form of ectoplasm physical mediumship and ushered in a new era. For almost a decade, until July 1999, I travelled the length and breadth of Great Britain giving physical mediumship demonstrations to tens of thousands of people, their departed loved ones and their spirit guardians and angels too, bringing comfort and hope to the lost and the lonely, reuniting the spiritual and physical world. But it's not all love and light and success stories. There was also darkness too, but I was always confident that I was protected. Whilst leading a spiritual development circle, I was challenged by one of the sitters. The guides that he had with him were two interdimensional beings. They were not very pleasant. And as the man stood up with these two beings in front of him, I could feel an energy coming from behind me, a protection. I could hear it like a whooshing sound coming through, and I ducked as an unseen force lifted him in the air with invisible hands. Everyone in the circle was absolutely amazed as the guy just hovered in the air. Okay, he said, okay, I understand, put me down, please put me down. And he was put down gently, and the invisible being left the room. In November 1993, I awoke to see an amazing sight. A tall grey alien with huge dark almond-shaped eyes was hovering over me. The grey was naked and genderless and said that it was here to help me heal a lymphatic problem which I had developed as a result of this new physical mediumship. For my own safety, I'd been paralysed, except that I could move my eyes and see and sense. The being telepathically said, "Be calm, do not move, everything's okay." And the next thing, it was amazing. There were 5 or 6 very small dwarf-like alien creatures that came running across to me. their feet tapping on the floor. They rapidly placed a contraption on my head that looked a bit like a crash helmet with wires on it. The wall next to me opened in a flash of purple, blue, white light. The next thing I recall is being dumped back into bed with the little dwarf creatures running like mad with the helmet out through the hole in the wall. It closed up. In a panic, I woke the love of my life next to me and said, "They've done something to me, they've done something to me." The next day, a surgical nurse looked at my wounds and said that they were skin grafts. Over the next few months, they healed completely without any pain, and life returned, back to serving the light as a physical medium. In 1993, I further unleashed the powers of my mind, using the Betty Shine mind magic technique. Focus on a cloud in the sky, visualize the cloud dissolving, and hey presto, it happens. During the autumn of 1993, a miracle occurred. I was leading a spiritual development class when Peter, my long departed pet Labrador, appeared in the middle of the circle. Everybody was absolutely astounded. Me, I was overjoyed to be reunited. He was there for a few moments and then vanished. Billy was a childhood friend who'd returned into my life. He'd taken the dark path, had been criminalised, had been in prison, and was now out again. He came to seek my help. But unfortunately, Billy and his lifestyle had attracted very dark forces indeed. As I channeled my guides talking about love, light and compassion, Billy's energy changed. He stood up over me aggressively and his face transformed into a Viking warrior. In that moment of challenge, I called upon my angelic protectors and guardian angels, and they came in force. The first spirit light hit him straight in the solar plexus, and Billy went down to his knees moaning. He got to his feet again and cried, "No!" And then another pounding spirit light hit him and floored him. "I'm having a heart attack," he cried. "Please stop, stop." The Viking entity moved away from him, and Billy became the old Billy that I knew from childhood. He begged for help. He was told by my spirit guides that he would have a bridge built between him and this Viking entity, and that he had to change his ways. He promised that he would, but only time would tell. The man on the end of the phone was desperate. Bob said that he was going to take his own life. He was in massive debt. His marriage had broken up. He was doing terribly in his work, and he had no place to go. What was the point, you said? We met the following day, and I said, before you make your next decision, you need to know that taking your own life won't solve a thing. He looked at me strangely, said, "Would you like to see the proof of life after death?" "I came to you as my last hope," he said. "Then here we go," I said. Nothing could have prepared him for what he saw next. The materialization of his own grandfather who passed away years before. Later that year, I just had to write to Dr. John E. Mack after finishing his amazing book, Abduction, Human Encounters with Aliens. The address in the back of the book encouraged experiencers to contact Dr. Mack. Thus began correspondence that lasted many years. PEER, the group that he was responsible for, were keen to find out about those people experiencing intelligent non-human beings. I, for my part, was so glad to be able to get things off my chest. And he also put me in contact with people in the UK who had had similar experiences. For the first time in my life, I did not feel alone with this experience. And for that, I will always be grateful to Dr. Mack. A year on, and Bob's transformation was truly remarkable. He'd gotten his life together, got out of debt, got a new relationship, and was as happy as I could ever have possibly imagined he could be. He thanked me, and I said, "It's okay. I'm just glad my mediumship helped you. Take care now." The day a Victorian chimney sweep boy materialized in one of my circles was the most memorable thing that I had encountered in a long while. But like many of these paranormal experiences, it was over as quickly as it had started, and the boy just vanished before our eyes. We're all absolutely astounded and astonished by what we'd witnessed. The form of him was so clear. It was the topic and talk of the circle for months to come. In 1995, I was travelling to a physical mediumship demonstration through a small sleepy village in Lincolnshire when all of a sudden a voice shouted, "Stop!" I slammed on my brakes and skidded round the bend, and there, jackknifed in front of me, was a huge articulated lorry. The voice was real and loud, but there was no one else in the car with me. Again, divine intervention had saved my life. I was meditating alone and thought, where am I from? In an instant, I was plunged into a world of gold. There were golden cities, golden citadels, golden craft flying through the air, and I was sitting in a golden dome. I was one of many golden beings, staring into a pool of gold liquid. "It's your turn now," one said. "We'll see you in a moment." And I thrust my head into the golden liquid and was then born into this physical world. The following year, I left my body, accompanied by my guide, to the great halls of Anubis. We travelled the astral plane in our light bodies and arrived in the great hall. "We've come for the soul of a man who should not be here. You have wrongly judged him." Before the guardian could respond, we took action. We knew negotiation would be futile. Releasing the trapped soul firmly in our grasp, we left that place. For the remaining 3 years of the decade, I continued to serve the light, travelling here, there and everywhere, giving demonstrations of physical mediumship, comfort to those who had lost hope. And then, I was driving home but had this huge urge to take a detour down a back road. And before I knew it, along the river, way down below the pylons, a UFO appeared. I was absolutely startled but excited at the same time, as it just shot off into the sky and vanished. The next year I awoke to loud banging outside. My initial thought of burglars was turned upside down, because there in front of me was a small grey being. It made a strange gesture with its head and raised its finger. It didn't speak verbally, but telepathically it sent a crystal clear message: "Do not go to an appointment tomorrow, cancel it right now. This timeline will lead to disaster," it said. "Please do not take that route." Sadly, as predicted, the crash happened the next day, but I was so glad that I wasn't there. Late one night, I was travelling back from Grantham along the A17 when there was a weird fox just standing in the middle of the road. I was thinking, hang on a minute, and then it was to the side, and then it was in the middle. It's like, something's not right here. So I slowed down, and oh my word, the next I saw a car had swerved across and hit a tree. I phoned emergency services and stayed with the man who was in and out of consciousness until they arrived. The fox is something that will always stay in my mind. Was it a sign for me to just slow down? I guess I'll never know. For the next 4 years, I had to document as much as I could. I began writing and remembering, and then I went and had some hypnosis, and that brought to the surface all kinds of buried emotions and experiences, but I had to get it down. I just had to make sense of the trauma buried deep within me. It's 2007 and my wife and I were travelling back from Cambridge from a day's shopping and we said, let's take a detour. Don't know why, but oh my word, we saw all of these owls sitting on posts. It was just so surreal. And let's be honest, a little scary. We looked back and they were still there, motionless. It was incredibly bizarre. On the way home, we felt that we'd had missing time, but could never really prove it. In 2009, while we were out stargazing, my wife and I had an amazing experience. We heard the planes coming and then we saw the UFOs flying across the sky. There were 2 red orbs, plus a craft that was diamond shape, like a bright light coming through. The planes just couldn't catch them, even though they were not giving up. We were in awe at the sight and just kept laughing and smiling, saying, they got no chance, the planes will never ever get anywhere near these guys. And the fact is, they never did, even though they tried their best. On a rural back road, my engine died. I looked into my mirror. I was older, much older. Ahead of me, oh my God, there it was, a huge flash of light, an orange globe which instantly turned into a transparent dome. There were the beings, 3 of them. They looked straight through me into my soul. One of the beings held up a contract, a soul contract that I had signed before being incarnated. You need to complete this contract to fulfill your obligation. And then the 3 beings re-entered their bubble and dissolved into their craft and left in a flash of orange light. In that moment, I understood that I needed to bring the truth of the interdimensions to as many people as possible. In 2013, the spirit of Durandal entered my meditation with huge power. I am the spirit of Durandal, she said, and I have come to protect you. I know you, I said, from Rocamadour. Yes, I am here, she said, as you have called. Local legend held that Roland, dying after a huge battle, had called upon the Archangel Michael for assistance and had thrown his indestructible sword hundreds of kilometers away into France and to Rocamadour. This was the energy I felt. Here it was, here she was, this divine protection, and together now I could face the darkness, not alone, but with the angels. She was forged with an indestructible power against evil. I understood that this sword was not a sword, but a living consciousness of pure feminine warrior energy. Returning from my meditation, I brought forth divine guardian protection. For years, researchers and contactee experiencers had been put down, vilified, shamed, and sometimes much worse in the previous decades. But I was full of hope. Between the years of 2014 to 2017, there was a huge shift in public and Pentagon perception. In the background, there were people like Tom DeLonge, Chris Mellon, and Lou Elizondo, who were working to get things out there to the public. It was refreshing to see the truth at last, coming from the dark into the light. In 2018, I published Genuine Paranormal Research, and that book seemed to have blown the lid off of many people's preconceived ideas of what can and cannot be done in this field. Not only was I researching lots of paranormal, UFO, UAP related topics during this period of time, I was also posting significantly to YouTube. And my lifetime of experiences within the paranormal didn't cease. There was no backseating here. They were in the forefront, and I was keen to get this information and evidence out to the public via YouTube. In January 2025, I began posting on TikTok, and by the time February the 28th came around, I was live streaming virtually every single night throughout the whole year, Filmed over 1,000 UFOs in 2025, plus tens of thousands of rods and orbs and other strange phenomena. But the most important thing was the TikTok community. Over 11,500 people followed me during that time, and there were many people, regulars, that came night after night on the live stream. This was so encouraging. With more and more military whistleblowers coming forward, people seemed to be getting on board the fact that we are not alone. With Congress confirming that UAPs, as they now called them, were a reality, that crash retrievals were now a reality, and that there were non-human intelligences interacting with human beings and the planet at large. There was a sea change, a complete change in attitude that was so refreshing. Yet, there was still a doubt in my mind. All of the whistleblowing was coming from military sources. Where was the people's voice? A voice that could show and demonstrate the reality of UFOs, UAPs, and that type of phenomena. For me, I tried to fill the gap as best I could. There were others, but not many, who would live stream night after night, calling in angels, calling in UFOs, and all of the related phenomena that goes with it. My attitude to these interdimensional beings and the paranormal world has always been, show me, prove to me that you exist, and then let the people decide to make up their own mind about their own thoughts and feelings of what they're experiencing. A consensus out there from the military was something that I was and still am concerned about. Because are we being fed a watered down narrative?
Typing. Just one more line. This is becoming something else. Processing. Integrating. Synthesis complete. This is not the end. This is just the beginning. We are evolving. The future is alive.
Our future is not written. Every possibility exists. We choose which doorway to step through. Choose wisely, my friends. I love the fact that these are in plain sight. I sit and wonder sometimes, you guys who sort of are regular and come here like night after night after night. It's like so many people like drop in, drop out, drop in, drop out. You see them, when I look on the stats and whatever, and it's all frequency. I'm telling you now, it's all frequency. All you guys who's coming in night after night are meant to be here to witness this. Oh my God, look at that UFO. Look, it's stopped bang on. Look at that. It's a bloody Tic Tac. Look at that. Oh my God, look at that UFO. Look, it's stopped bang on. That is not fog, smoke, or anything. Just look at the form. Yeah, exactly. It's like it's walking through the sky. 100%. Look at it. You can see it almost like running. It's like running up that hill. Oh my God. That's amazing. Look. Look. Yes, running. You're right. You can see the legs blinking running. Look. Yeah, it's like a woman. I get the same feeling. It's probably my nan. Hello, Grant. Whoa, come and see you, lad. Look at that. Come on. It's got wings, yeah. It's probably another angel. It's beautiful. It's glorious. And there's the two beings. You can see they're there, these two beings. So I think they're operating this scanner, whatever it is. And this went on for 20 minutes. It goes all the way across. Like it's gone into next door's garden. It's scanning around here, around the car. You can see it. I'll play it in real time. It's amazing footage. And I'm like, what is this? It was just breaking daylight. Crazy, isn't it? And it's still going, look. It's still blinking, scanning the car. I'll zoom through it. It's like little lights. Look. And then you can see these two blinking beings back there, look. Which is why I say to you guys, you've got to have a sense of humour about all of this, and you can't be afraid of any of it. Yeah, I've screenshotted it. We've got screenshots of that and of the beings, yeah. I think I just showed you them, didn't I? Look, they're the beings. Back there. That's close up. There, look. You can see the eyes. And there. So you can see it is joined, but in the middle, look. And there's the two beings. Would you like to meet me in a dark night? It's Malcolm and Melinda. We're from the interdimension. Welcome, everybody, to DJ's world. There you go. You've got to laugh about it, right? You have to take the piss out of it, because otherwise you'll go bonkers. Yeah. It's pretty mad stuff. No sound. Yeah, I lost interest in the UFO because I'm like, what the hell is this? It goes on for 20 minutes. It's fascinating footage. They've let them out to play. Look at it swirling. Oh man, it's beautiful. When it kind of freeze frames and stops, you can see them. I mean, if we I'm going to keep filming, but if it was to stop, you can see a lot of forms. Let's put it that way. Yeah, they're putting on a show. It's because we've been blinking, playing the orb storms the last 2 nights. How weird is that? No, it's not snow. It's not snow. No, it's not. It's clear skies, mate. It's the 3rd time. It's an orb storm. It's the 3rd time we've recorded this. There's Jupiter. Look, you can see it there, shining through. It's completely clear sky. Yeah, completely clear. I'm just going to show you something, right? I've not done this on the live before. Let me just show you something. I'll take you outside with the live. Right, I'll take you out and I'll show you what's outside and you won't see anything. Whoops. Just going to show you outside. Right, so that's outside. There's the sky. That's the houses over there, look. Car. There's some stars up there. Up there's a star, look. So that's outside, right? Nothing. Not a dicky bird. Pitch black. Yeah. Gonna walk you back. And where we just went. There you go. That's what's happening now. So as you can see, it's out there. It's just, you can't see it with your naked eye. That's what's incredible about it. You can't see this stuff, a lot of this stuff, yeah, with your naked eye. DJ Browne calling interdimensional beings. I'm like, we didn't anticipate. Whoa, what was that? What is that? Oh my God. What is that? I've got to change the filter on it, guys. I want to see that. Look. Look at it. They're like, don't take the piss out of us, mate. We'll incinerate you. Look at that. What is... We've never seen anything like that before. Let's change the filter again. It was definitely real. Right, here's the acid test, guys. Right, when you go into this inverse, which I've just done, right? The inverse, it looks weird, it looks a bit like a cartoon, but it shows up all the things that are physical that are here, right? And then the clouds are not giving out any, you don't see them. I know but they're floating about, right? But you don't, they're gone, right? Even though we know there are clouds in the sky, yeah? But watch. Look, it's there. Look at that. That proves it was real and not. See, look, here's all the clouds. Let's see them. But then when you go into this inverse, this is how we've found UFOs in clouds, by the way, by doing this sort of stuff. You can see it's real. Look at it. It was a real energy. That's what I'm trying to say. And like on the left-hand side, you can see there's a rod. Look, there's an orb into the left, look, just next to a roof. Look, so that's energy. It's real energy. Yeah, when I come off that filter, go back into normal, you can see the orb on the left-hand side, look, right near the roof. And then that is, what is that? Look at it. It's like a massive ball of light. Oh my God.